Well, it was a blast from the past kind of morning when Chase Headley walked into the clubhouse at the Peoria Sports Complex. Now, Headley was a Padre for 8 years at that time, along with Clayton Richard and Chris Young, who ironically are back in the clubhouse this spring as well. Before he was traded to the Yankees in 2014, he spent 4 years with New York, went on a few playoff runs during that time, and then was traded back to the Padres this past offseason. Now, Headley said that he never thought he was going to be traded back to San Diego. He said if he was going to be traded, San Diego was not even on the radar or on the list. He also said that one of the first things that Padres general manager A.J. Preller told him was, "Welcome to the team, but we're not sure if we're going to trade you yet." Headley said that he appreciated the honesty, and in subsequent conversations, he said it does sound like he is moving forward with the Padres, at least as of right now. He said he knows anything can happen, and he was told that the focus will be on third base. He did play some first last season, but he said the focus will be on third. Now, Headley and his wife Casey have a home in Tennessee. They have 2 young boys, and I asked Headley how he thinks he's changed the most in the last 4 years. He said experience has been a great teacher. He said he'd like to think of himself as a little bit more even keel and a little bit more able to handle adversity than when he was with the Padres before. Here's more from Chase Headley.
It's a little surreal. Obviously it's been a few years, and I guess when you leave, you never expect to be back. So, it's fun. It's good to be back. It's good to see a few familiar faces, but also a lot of new guys, and excited to play with them. It was crazy. Really didn't see it coming, obviously, but obviously I had a lot of great times in San Diego, a lot of good memories, and love the city. So, if I was having to leave New York, I was excited that I was going to get to come back to San Diego. Well, my first conversation was, we don't know if we're going to trade you again or we're going to keep you. So, one, I appreciated the honesty. There's, as a player, you kind of understand how the game works, but it's just nice to have somebody tell you straight up what's going on. So I was very appreciative of that. And then, we would talk every couple weeks, whether it was me and Andy or AJ, and they just kind of keep me posted of what was going on. And, as we got closer to time, it just, became apparent that, more likely than not that I was going to be here. And, then we started to have a little bit more in-depth conversations about, where I'm going to be playing, that type of thing, and, what to expect coming into camp and that type of stuff. I think that, everything's under a microscope in New York, so the good, the bad, everything gets blown up probably a little bit more than it is, and you learn just how to, to deal with that a little bit better, and, try to stay even keel and not worry about what's going on around you. If you're paying too much attention to what's being said, or you hear rumors and things like that, then it's going to be a rough time for you. So I think just everything's magnified there, and you learn to deal with that a little bit better than you do other places. Even after 2012, I had a pretty good idea that was going to be one of my better years, if not my best years. I've never really projected as being a guy that's going to hit 30 home runs a year. So, it was awesome when it happened, and I'd love to do it again. But, I think what I've always tried to be is consistent as a player. And, at the beginning of the year, you kind of know what to expect, and at the end of the year, the numbers are going to be close to what you thought they were going to be. So, obviously, you're always trying to improve, and you always have high goals. But, I understand who I am as a player, and I think that's valuable to a club, but is it probably the 30 home run and 115 RBI guy? Probably not.